There's one thing in football. We call something the adaptability of the game.
Okay.
Adaptability of the game is a situation whereby a coach system will fail to work. Then the coach will build a different formation to cater for the strength of the players. We are talking about Ruben Amorim, who is failing to move away from his three back. We are talking about Amorim, who played three back last season. The players were not seeing their philosophy working to perfection. And what do? You must be able to adjust, especially when you're chasing results, to suit the strength of the players. But he's not doing that. It's not every player who can function the three back system. And then again, it's not every club that always house the three back system. Few coaches have shown that play three back, they are the main champions, the Italians. And recent times, maybe you may mention Thomas Tuchel. But then again, when you come to a club like Manchester United and the system is not suiting the players, you, the coach, must try to adjust your system to be able to get the best out of the players. But Amorim is too pragmatic. He's not trying to change things to suit the strength of the players. Now ask yourself, Patrick Dogu, Diego Dalot, were they standardized wing backs? They were more or less full backs. They will go and add attacking duties, but playing them as wing backs, you're not going to get the best of them. Brian Mbeumo, Matthias Cunha, have you seen? In their various teams, they function very well within maybe a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3 system. But you're playing them within a confined three-back system that they struggle to enjoy the wide spaces.
So he's really not exploiting.
He's not exploiting the strength of the players. That's one thing.
Okay.
Now, apart from that, are you aware that yesterday the fans of the home team were chanting that we should play Manchester United every week?
Grimsby Town.
Yeah.
Chanting this.
I say, can we play you every week?
Just because United have declined.
Of course. But away from Amorim issue, listen, the goals they considered. Per the standard of Manchester, to be able to rise to that standard, some goals shouldn't be scored against such a team. Now, the Onana mess. Listen, I'm not sure you can blame a coach for a goalkeeper failing to anticipate his timing. Onana is an off-color. Onana is below the standard of Manchester United.
Do you think he has a problem? Because he kept spectacular, let's say, performances at Ajax.
Yeah.
At Inter, he was superb. The Champions League final showed that Onana was a top-class goalkeeper.
Yes.
He came to Manchester United and he's looking like a pale shadow of himself.
Listen, players do move and fail.
Okay.
But Onana issue, this is not against Man City. You are not, imposed facing the likes of Erling Haaland. You are facing, average team that cannot even hold themselves within their circle. You cannot keep a perfect timing for a set piece.
Against a fourth tier.
Against a fourth tier. That's the problem. Now, for the first goal they consider, look at where Onana was positioning. And then again, where they scored that goal. It tells you that, look, you may blame the coach, you may blame how Manchester take off shinings of top players coming to their team. But such games, listen, considering from such angles tells you that, look, the players also are having things to worry about.
Look at the tunnel of Grimsby Town. It's so crowded. Nothing. Just look at the pitch. Look at the lighting system. It looks like a fourth tier, everything fourth tier.
I can tell you that Downs Park is even better than this thing.
Yes.
But they managed to crown the results over Manchester United.
Everything fourth tier. So the result should have also been a fourth tier result.
Of course.
United should have scored 6-5.
And if you look at the ratings of Manchester players after the game, you fumble.
Wow.
Like I said, this is not against Chelsea. This is not against Liverpool. You are not playing the Champions League against top 4 positions. You are playing against a fourth tier and you cannot up your performance. A single pass, they can just move Manchester to the left, move the ball to the right and start scoring. It's a big problem. Look, you may blame the coach. I agree. You may say, okay, looking at Amorim in recent times, Manchester in a reverse gear. I agree. But playing against such lower tier teams, some players must show personality. Yesterday, we didn't see that kind of personality Manchester United players should be imposing. A player can pick the ball, drive into spaces without anyone close him down. Look at how Manchester defended. Shambolic. Take away the offside. Manchester have considered 4 goals against this, fourth tier side. It tells you that, look, they are having a very huge problem. And then again, some moments were there that they should have taken the opportunities. But listen, they failed to take that. And I think, look, you may blame Alex Ferguson because he set that standard very high. And after moving out, he opted for his main countryman, the shape of, David Moyes. He came and failed. Since then, Manchester United hasn't been that good. To a point we are blaming the former players of Manchester United that look, they are putting much pressure on this team. Now, in recent times, the former players are not speaking loud, but Manchester still struggling. We thought like, okay, away from the former players, the board were the main issue.
Okay.
Ed Woodward. To a point, the fans were chanting every day that this Ed Woodward family should die. But listen, they've moved to Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who is trying to change the entire situation of Manchester United. Things are not moving well. They've sacked coaches of coaches. Things are not working. Now, they started off with, after David Moyes, we've seen the likes of Louis van Gaal, we've seen the likes of Jose, we've seen the likes of, Ragnick. Look, they've appointed winners, they've appointed philosophers, they've appointed people who could turn teams around on a very normal day. But Manchester's situation is not changing. And I think it goes beyond the imagination. Things are behind the scenes we are not seeing. And until they begin to speak out, they're going to be in the same situation day in, day out. Look, their fans thought like they've won the World Cup.
Yes, this is an achievement for them.
Huge one, of course.
Fourth tier eliminating, and they eliminated Manchester United by not being defeated.
Oh, yes.
It was a drawn game.
Yes.
So, first of all, they are taking positive from that they do the game against a almighty United.
Yeah.
Right after drawing the game also, they won on penalties against this same United.
This is
ecstasy at its peak.
This is Van Nistelrooy's Rooney. Only Mr. Manchester United. This is Rooney Manchester United. This is Cristiano Ronaldo, who won Ballon d'Or at that same club Manchester United we're talking about. For Christ's sake, this team cannot find their rhythm against fourth tier side. Listen, you have a lot of people to blame. And for me, I think the situation is beyond the normal eyes. Look, players who move, go ahead and shine. Players who shine, come in and flop. I do think it's normal. Listen, let's start praying and casting the demons out of Manchester United.
Do you think they are possessed? Because you said we should cast out demons.
Yes.
Are they possessed?
Listen,
I'm not sure.
You mentioned Onana being the top goalkeeper before coming to Manchester United. What is wrong? Can you tell me, look, can you pinpoint what is wrong with Manchester United? No. I don't know, you don't know. Manchester fans don't know. The board don't know. It's a demon possession.
Wow.
They must pray 5 days prayer and fasting. They should do that for Manchester United.
Manchester United needs 5 days prayer and fasting from Daniel.
Listen, things are not working. And look, if you ask me as a pundit,
this is a bold statement.
Listen, if you ask me as a pundit, I may give my fair idea, but listen, that is not the main issue. I don't know. I may speak from what I've seen on the pitch. I'm blaming Amarim for his inability to adapt to a player's strength. Yes, we are blaming some players for failing to pick their personality in games. But listen, what is wrong? Can you pinpoint as a Manchester United? Look, you can bring the top analysts in the world football. Listen, they cannot identify the Manchester problem.
So it's spiritual.
Listen, yes, we've tried physically, we are not seeing the problem.
So they should fast.
We have two things in the world, the physical world and the spiritual world. And we've tried everything in the physical world. We are not seeing solutions. What is the main thing? Spiritual.
I like this, your statement. It's a bold statement. Manchester United need 5 days fasting and prayers because they are being possessed.
I can imagine.
Stats cannot define why Manchester United is improving. So if stats cannot define it, then definitely they need fasting and prayers.
Like I said, look, we have two world ruling. Listen, in terms of money, Manchester have the money. In terms of scouting, they have it. In terms of appointing top class coaches, they've done that after Ferguson. They've changed the board from the previous one to a new one. We've seen the new Carrington. Isn't it nice? Very, very nice one.
Yeah.
But then again, what is wrong?
I would like you to repeat that statement. I would like Swale to record for me. It's a very good statement.
Of course.
And it's something that majority of people have not gotten to understand. Manchester United needs 5 days fasting and prayers.
Yes.
Because they are
simply because, listen, the situation with Manchester United, you cannot phantom with your physical eyes. And like I said, you may analyze from your perspective, but we all know that you can never pinpoint. Look, this is Jeffers Mitchell wrong with Manchester United. No, you cannot pinpoint. You can never say, oh, look, the facility is not getting the best from the players. No, the thing goes beyond what we are seeing because they've done a lot of changes. Top players who move from their various teams come to Manchester United and they are now off color, pale shade of themselves. How do you define this with the physical eyes? I can't do that. You can't do that. The world cannot do it. It's a spiritual one.
So they need fasting and prayer.
This is a big one. They should organize conferences.
Wow. Crusade.
Of course. 5 days without food, water. They should dry fasting.
So it's now dry fasting.
Of course.
Dry fasting for Manchester United. 5 days dry fasting and prayers for Manchester United.
Christ said some demons need prayers and fasting.
Wow.
And you can never phantom with their physical eyes. Well, for me, the issue of Manchester United, look, if you mean to analyze it, listen, you are going to break your head.
Okay.
It's never going to work. And for me, look, if you have solution, bring it. For me, I think the situation goes beyond the physical realm. Spiritually, Manchester must do a lot of things to get themselves back. And I think enough of that Manchester United, because if we mean to sit on it, listen, we will spend the entire day, we will spend the entire 2025 talking about Manchester United, still no solution. They must come good and pray and fast drastically. Dry one. Listen, 6 to 6, no eating, no water, nothing. Just fast and pray for Manchester United to come good. Listen, away from that.
Yeah. I have some messages here that I need to do justice to.
Christopher Nkunku. We all know the reason why he's struggling at Chelsea. Because of fitness.
Okay.
And I think maybe he can move to the Italian league. That is not demanding more of strength. You can use your technique and your experience to play through. So I think it's a good deal. But Dennis Kosa. Listen, to your point, he was a Black Star player.
Yeah.
At Hasselhoff, I think he moved from Abusian Dwarfs.
Dwarfs, yes. Dwarfs to Haas.
To Hasselhoff, and we saw what he did. He moved out of the country and things are not rosy and he's back. We've seen players that moved out, came back and they took our league by storm. And I think Carella, right?
Yeah.
They should give him that kind of